Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. That wasn't a theme song. I just wanted to do that.
What if I just clip that? I could.
Could you?
Yeah, at least until we get our shit together.
I mean, that'll work.
I can take like that 3 seconds and I can like loop it.
Great.
Somebody could remix it
Add
in the
on
audience.
some sweet, sweet beats at the bottom of that.
Okay, do you want to like do a Reggie Watts and layer it right now?
Oh,
where like you can do the parts and
I
then you
don't
can
have the
you can do
amount of
that.
talent
You can do
for
the
that.
beat and then somebody will add it all together later, maybe me.
It's a lot of pressure, Rob.
We can move on.
You can move on.
All right. Hey everybody, this is How to Not, a WikiHow. There should be some sort of like summarizing phrase that we should make up where it's like we read WikiHow and
teach you how to not.
And it teaches you how to not have a life. Be a life?
Be a life?
Be a person.
Be a person.
Brainstorming on this is it fills up time. It's good.
This is great.
Yeah. My name is Rob Moden.
And I'm Caitlin Alexander.
So yeah, we read WikiHow articles and learn how to live normal human lives from these wonderful articles that are not all ridiculous.
Yeah, they're totally legit examples of very good instructional guides.
I feel terrible today, Caitlin.
Do you?
This is not a bit. I actually do feel my tum-tum is not doing good.
Oh, your tum-tum's not good.
Yeah, do you have any advice for me at all?
Yeah, well, I can shoot you on over to how to fake symptoms of being sick.
Okay, so if I feel like my tum-tum isn't enough to get me out of work, here are some extra little things that I can do.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
Let me read you this description.
Go for it.
Trying to avoid school or work?
Yep.
Need to throw your significant other off so that you can throw a huge surprise party or dinner?
What?
Weirdly specific. Playing a sick character in a play? Just feel lazy and want to rest for the day? Knowing how to fake an illness can come in handy.
Hold on. Let's pause just for a second.
Yeah.
So need to throw your significant other off so that you can throw a huge surprise party or
I thought that was going
dinner.
somewhere entirely different.
Is that what people do when I've never had a surprise party thrown for me? I've
neither.
never thrown it for somebody else. Does every time you have to do it, does it take an entire work day where you have to like take some time off and fake sick so that you can hang up some streamers or some shit?
That's just some excuse that some dude made once. It was like, oh, I'm throwing a surprise party, man. I gotta stay home.
But who's he telling?
I don't know.
No. I want to examine this excuse you just came up with. So I need to throw a surprise party for my girlfriend.
Yeah.
I go to my boss.
Yeah.
I say, I'm sick. And they're like, oh, what you got? It's like, I'm not actually sick. I'm throwing a surprise party. And they're like, well, that's not a good enough excuse. And I'm like, I mean, my stomach, it's bad. It's bad.
And he's like, chill, bro. Go enjoy that surprise party.
Who's this chill boss?
I don't know. Sometimes I have dreams that the work hours are different.
What are you talking about? All right, so we tried.
It's like
by the way,
8 a.m. on a Monday.
Hey, everybody, it's Monday
knows.
now. We should mention this. We're on Mondays now. We decided we were going to move to Mondays. All signs point to people listen in the week more than the weekend. It gives us some backup options for recording, including usually we would have to record last minute on Friday morning. If that fell through, then we just didn't have an episode. Now we will have the weekend. We still failed to do the weekend.
It's still Monday. And
it's Monday morning, but it's like we have a little bit more time.
Yeah, but I mean, the good news is I'm like 80 times less aware of what I'm saying right now.
You're even more tired because
yeah.
Caitlin goes out and parties on Sunday nights.
Oh, yeah, I get crunk and also dope, like all of the kids say.
You were being thrown a surprise party, but also, unfortunately, you were genuinely sick. So combined.
So it was just all together, just a shit experience.
So I have a bad tum-tum. You don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Let's find out what else we can do.
Okay, so this is the first WikiHow article I've ever seen in this section before any instructions. It just says, in a hurry, and then it says, the easiest way to fake sick is to mention your symptoms the day before and go to bed early.
Symptoms being in quotes. That was the tone you were doing. You did quotes in the air, but it's a podcast.
I attempted it.
I'm sorry.
Act lightheaded and sluggish the next day and don't recover too soon. Read on for more tips and ideas, including faking specific illnesses or being ill over the phone.
So do you want to have your entire day off, but you don't have enough time in your day off to read a whole WikiHow article?
Yeah.
Well, we have the WikiHow article for you.
It. Just fake it the day before. You'll be fine. Goodbye.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
I do want to mention before we go into the next section that this is the first appearance now of the illustrated character that is seen throughout the entire. I was going to say grown-up Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Old man Napoleon Dynamite.
He looks like you're going to notice as you get into this, and if you're going to look at this article, listener, that This guy looks like he's having a bigger existential crisis the further you scroll down. And it's maybe my favorite thing.
Do you think he just feels sick because he lives a constant life of constantly realizing, I do look like Napoleon Dynamite?
Yeah, probably.
Everyone on the street's like, where's Pedro? And I'm like, it was 2004.
He's like,
Leave me
it's
alone.
not funny anymore.
13 years ago. This is an outdated reference point.
Okay. So method 1 is getting into character. Decide what illness you're going to fake. Ideally, you want something that incapacitates you from major responsibilities without being so serious that others will take you to the hospital or doctor. A cold, fever, or 24-hour bug are all good options. Make sure you know the symptoms you want to fake and limit your performance to just those.
Okay, so here's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't know what symptom the cold comes with.
I don't either.
It just says know the symptoms.
It says no sense. It's like you have to go down the street and look at somebody and be like, do you have the cold? And they go, I have the cold. And then you say, what are your
How you
symptoms?
feeling? What
and they're like, I got a runny nose. And you're like, nailed it.
If I had a quarter for every time I ran out on the street and went, somebody describe to me a cold. Do you have a cold? Do you have a cold? Do you have a cold? This is a gap in my knowledge. Please tell me.
I don't know what this is.
Maybe a fever? What is a 24-hour bug? Is it a known thing?
Isn't it just like when you have like a flu, but it doesn't last past 24 hours?
It's lazy flu.
You just call it a 24-hour bug?
It's a flu that doesn't want to put in the work.
Yeah, it's a flu that gave up halfway, said fuck this, and left
this person's not worth time on.
Exactly.
If you get a 24-hour bug, that's a flu looking down on you.
Yeah, it's telling you you're not good enough. Just kidding, by the way.
Or
we
just
like to spread positivity.
Look, I'm not saying I validate the flu's opinion. I'm just saying
that might be the thing, right?
I'm looking down on the flu. Why would I care what a flu thinks about me?
True.
And
you live your life regardless of that flu.
I live my flu-free life. I've never had a flu. I'm jinxing myself right now. All the flus are going to listen to this.
Next week it's going to be like, okay, everyone, so Rob's got the flu.
Show canceled because every flu came to me.
It was like, yeah, bitch.
Caught up on 27 years of my life of flus.
Good Lord. You've never had a flu?
Never.
I hate you.
And I get the flu shot maybe once every 3 years.
I get the flu like maybe once a month.
I was for some reason I thought you were gonna say once a week. Maybe just because I'm in podcast mode.
Also, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, looking forward to our winter schedule of one episode every month or so. Cool.
Okay. So start mentioning symptoms the day before you want to fake the sickness.
I do want to say this picture
is hysterical.
It's somebody looking through some drawers, which I'm hoping they're gonna explain. But it looked like he was looking into his own pants.
It looks like he's looking into garbage, doesn't it?
Is it garbage?
Like he's gonna heave into a garbage can?
Oh, that's a garbage can.
Also, can we talk about how undetailed the telephone is next to his hand? If you're not looking at this photo, you are missing out because everything is detailed except this stupid telephone by this man's hand.
It just looks like a weird hat or a lump of fancy bread.
Yeah, it does look like a lump of fancy bread. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that being said,
yep.
If you're wanting to stay home from school Monday, act tired or sluggish on Sunday, say you aren't feeling well or have a slight headache. Don't eat much and go to bed early. This way, when you start showing more severe symptoms, it will be more believable. I've never in my life had the forethought to just be like, gotta start now 24 hours before. Are you kidding me? So the next photo is Napoleon is deeper into his existential crisis.
He's thinking about being sick, it looks like.
And the step is jog your memory. You've been sick before, and people have noticed. Think about what it felt like and what other people noticed the most when you were sick. Try to replicate those symptoms and channel that feeling. It'll be much easier to convince people that you've come down with something you've had before rather than tackling a whole new ailment. Shouldn't that have been step 1?
I guess.
Jog your memory about what the hell it is oh my god, sorry, I scrolled down. Holy shit, I just had the most visceral reaction to that photo because he just aged 80 years.
Add as many wrinkles to your face as possible. Let's just jump to that point.
Make your face pale.
Make your face pale.
Oh
and by pale, they mean lift your eyebrows so that your entire forehead is wrinkled.
That is terrifying.
That's what pale means. Go ahead.
If you have green concealer, rub it on your cheeks and forehead to make you appear pale. Don't paint your face green. Just slightly change the color of your skin. Make sure you know how to apply makeup effectively. If you are obviously wearing makeup, you are sure to be caught. If you use makeup, try to avoid being touched. You'll be found out if someone puts their hand on your face and the concealer comes off.
2 points here. 1.
Yeah.
One, if my coworkers keep on coming up to me and just grabbing my cheeks, and
grabbing
like,
my
you're so
face.
cute. Oh, you're so cute. What
What
is this?
is this?
Green concealer?
Also, green concealer?
Green
is a
concealer.
thing?
Yeah. You know, you've just come off of your Broadway run of Wicked.
Yeah.
And luckily enough, you just have piles of green concealer sitting everywhere. This is what you do
just
with
go
it.
for it.
Or are you a Broadway actress who played in Wicked?
Yeah.
You have a new side business.
Very true.
Just sneaking supplies. Here's what I'm going to say. We should stop necessarily talking about every single photo because it is an audio medium. But if you want to imagine, this minor tiny section, just everything Caitlin read, starts with one photo of old Napoleon Dynamite looking very sad into the middle distance. And then the next photo is the exact same pose, but they've just moved the hands so that he's still looking. So imagine you looking off into the middle distance, kind of like Jim, a sad Jim from The Office, looking at a camera that doesn't exist. But to everybody else, they're looking at you, just looking at nothing. And then you just slowly rotate your hands over your cheeks.
True.
As if this is everything that your life has led up to at this point, and you're very disappointed.
I can't do. Who?
There are little motion lines
illustrated
over.
this?
There are little motion lines over around the
There
hands,
are,
but
you're
also
right.
around the shoulders and the hair. What is happening?
Why is the hair moving? That is a good question. Anyways. Shit. Okay. Pretend you're dizzy and lightheaded. Walk slower with shorter steps. Take your time when getting out of bed or a chair. When you stand up at your desk, pretend to lose your balance a little and put your hand on your desk to regain your balance. Wait, to remember what being dizzy feels like, wait until you are in private and spin around until you get dizzy. Make note of how it feels and how you're acting. When you're in front of others, replicate that behavior, but only slightly.
So I haven't had a cold. So sorry, I haven't had a flu ever. So what I know it said know the symptoms. Luckily, it's then telling us what the symptoms are afterwards.
Thank God.
But so what I'm gathering so far is that your face goes green.
Yeah.
You feel as if you have done one of those kids obstacle relay courses where there's a baseball bat and you just spin around it about 10 times. So I'm building up a profile in my head now.
I'm pretty sure the person who wrote this might have been thinking of cartoons.
Maybe. Potentially.
Because I'm not sure I've ever turned green. Well, I'm sure it might have.
Maybe maybe you're the outlier. Maybe everyone else turns green.
Holy shit.
And you do not.
Fuck.
Go ahead.
So the next one is act uncomfortable.
Got
Easy.
it. Got it
Done.
nailed.
Next. People who are sick don't feel good, so don't joke around and laugh and smile too much. Give people the impression that you're disoriented and in your own world. If you're the kind of person who gets cranky when you're sick, then get cranky. Don't appear to take joy in the things you normally take joy in. If you're invited to the movies, and you usually love to go to the movies, turn it down. So literally, make sure you have zero social life leading up to this one instance of you faking sick.
This image, I will say, again, we're not going to talk about images, but this image... everybody looks uncomfortable. Nobody's making eye contact.
Why is Napoleon's legs touching both of the girls?
Rashida Jones on the right does not look entirely happy about it. I'm gonna say Jessica Biel in the middle.
Yeah,
a little bit. Is at least like seeming a little interested.
I didn't know Zachary Quinto was at the party though.
I was gonna say just like one of the older Twilight brothers.
I mean, fair, yeah.
Zachary Quinto, one of the older Twilight brothers, before his breakout role as something that wasn't Star Trek. I feel bad. I feel gross today, guys. I feel too sick. I can't take the joy I usually take in making pop culture references.
Oh, get out of here.
Go ahead.
Okay. The next one is be sluggish. Stay in bed if you can. It's a natural reaction to want to rest and sleep a lot when you're sick. It's your body's way of giving itself time to fight the sickness and heal. Nod off and put your head down on your desk occasionally. Whenever you're given the chance, curl up on the closest couch you can find. Pretend to shiver while in bed, even if under covers.
Just like constantly shake.
Is this trying to make you feel sick by you could actually make yourself sick doing this kind of stuff?
Yeah, I feel like that's what happened when the occasional time I
as a kid,
where you're just like, I feel disgusting, and I'm like either psychologically going to convince myself that it's genuine because I would feel guilty. I was a good little boy,
me too.
and I would feel guilty if I was actually lying.
Yeah.
So I would like have a minor headache and then kind of like
full
lean
blown,
into it somehow, just like make it worse probably.
Yeah. I used to I would be like, oh, my stomach hurts. And then I would feel so bad about saying my stomach hurt that my stomach would actually start hurting.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Like if I wanted to get the day off work because of a huge migraine, I would stay in the room that we are in right
Yeah.
now, where it feels horribly hot
Yeah.
and incredibly high pressure.
yeah, and I
Um,
would get a migraine.
And I would probably like record a podcast for another 20 minutes or so with headphones in, so that like whatever air circulation is that a thing, by the way, air circulation through the ears? Because
I don't think
I
it
tend to get
is.
like feel a lot of pressure in my head,
Rob, are
especially
you okay?
if I have like overhead headphones in. I just have earbuds today, but maybe, guys.
Rob's having a meltdown.
Also, is talking quick one of the symptoms? Are we going to get to that? A lot of anxiety, is that something?
You're the worst.
Go ahead.
So, just so you know, guys, the picture with Zachary Quino has returned. Mine is Zachary Quino.
It's the exact same,
zoomed
but
up.
now they're outside.
Act like you're upset about being sick. Being legitimately ill is not fun, and often leaves you with lots to catch up on. Tell people you wish you could make it to the activities you're skipping, and apologize for the inconvenience you might cause. Never seem really happy that you can stay home. Tiredly mumble, okay, and pretend to go back to sleep. This sounds like the worst day you could spend off ever.
Yeah. You're making yourself miserable. You're refusing to do anything, go to anything. If Ferris Bueller had done all of this when he fake sick,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have a good movie.
No.
We would
'cause
watch
he
him in
just
bed.
literally be sitting in bed being like, oh, I don't feel well.
So where are the instructions on how to make a elaborate Rube Goldbergian type fake dummy that will like raise and lower the hand?
I'm hoping that's coming up.
Maybe. I don't know. I think we're about to hit part 2, so it seems like getting into character is almost done
Yes, and this is the last step.
without any Rube Goldberg.
Don't suddenly get better. If you successfully convince people you are sick, they will start to become suspicious again if you are back to 100% immediately after your sick day. If your parents decide to let you stay home, don't start smiling and acting energetic again until a few hours after school lets out. That seems pretty...
Like, kind of?
Yeah.
I almost completely disagree with this. Maybe everybody I've ever met who has taken a sick day has been faking.
Yeah.
I feel like people constantly come back the next day and it's like, I'm good now. I'm fine.
Yeah. Why would you still come into work if you feel awful? Or like go into school if you
It's a
still
very
feel
good question,
awful?
Caitlin. Why do you constantly come back into work even though you still feel
Because
awful?
I feel guilty that I took any time off, so I
Mhm.
come in here and I'll spread my disease around.
Yeah. And then make the rest of us sick.
Yeah, sharing is caring.
Hmm. That should be a little pointer that they should give it. If your coworker is sick, feel free to take the next week off and blame that coworker
That's
for
actually
getting you
smart.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Guys, we're just one up in this article.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Method 2 is faking a fever. So step 1 is make your face hot and sweaty. A fever
These are alternate methods
Yes.
of like, okay.
A fever is a classic illness to fake. Is fever an illness? Since they often imply that you are contagious, and the best treatment is usually bed rest. People with fevers have faces and foreheads that are usually hot, though they themselves feel cold. There are a number of ways to give yourself the appearance of a feverish face. 1, take a hot shower without your hair getting wet.
I'm gonna say Napoleon Dynamite.
Has some abs.
He is lean.
He is lean.
He's lean.
Yeah. This is wow.
That his face, if you scroll up about 2 inches on the page,
Is unfortunate.
is an egg shape, but
His body
his body,
is a man.
his body. Go on.
Number 2, blow on your face with a blow dryer.
I'm sorry. Has every single image of this guy
It's the same
been the
face
same
with
facial?
just- yes, it is. It absolutely
Actually,
is.
well, no, some of them are different, but like literally half of the images are the
I'm
same,
sorry.
looking into the middle distance.
I need the rub water on your face to make it seem sweaty.
The hands are
photo
back!
Is maybe the funniest
The hands
thing.
are back, just rubbing
Holy
those
shit.
cheeks.
This is such an existential crisis.
Mhm.
Heat your face for a few minutes with a hotting pad or hot bottled water when no one is looking.
A hotting pad, yeah.
Shh. I'm having a morning.
Mm-hmm.
Rub your face vigorously with your hands. This one is just okay. Lay down on your back with your head hanging off the edge of your bed so that all the blood flows to it. I have done that. when
And
I was a kid.
the pose is an arm and a hand kind of behind your head and
He's
up on
definitely
your pillow.
not hanging off the bed in that photo. Number 2, cover yourself with many layers of clothes and blankets. This will make you sweat, but people will think you're cold too. Pretend to shiver no matter how much you bundle yourself up. A cold sweat is one important symptom of a cold or fever. So just make yourself miserable for the day. Got
Mhm.
it.
Again, get yourself way too hot and
Yeah.
sweaty so that you actually do feel terrible.
Okay, 3. Tamper with your thermometer. If a parent or nurse leaves you alone with the thermometer in your mouth, there are a few things you can do to give yourself an artificially high temperature. Just make sure you don't get it too high. It will either be obvious that you faked your results, or they will take you to the doctor or hospital to treat your dangerously high temperature. 1. Drink hot water before putting the thermometer in your mouth. That seems smart.
Chug hot water.
Yes.
Just hot.
I was totally on board until you put it like that. And then I'm worried that these articles are somehow diminishing my intelligence.
I'm drinking warm tea right now. I don't think it's necessarily heating up my entire mouth so that anything else in there would be heated up as well.
That is true.
So you would have to drink boiling water.
Yeah.
And it's the sacrifices you have to make. You want a day off work? You need
to chug that boiling water.
Blisters all over the raw skin, raw flesh of your mouth.
Yeah, burn that sweet fleshy mouth and hope that you get to stay home.
That sweet fleshy mouth has to go. It has to. If you want your day off work or school, you need to be able to sacrifice being able to talk for a solid month.
I mean, worth it. Mm-hmm. This is the worst advice.
I did not want to do my test today.
We're actually the worst. Mm-hmm. Okay. Touch the thermometer to a hot light bulb for a second.
Fair.
Yeah. Shake the thermometer vigorously by the metal tip. This will push the mercury towards the high end of the thermometer. Of course, this doesn't work on digital thermometers, so that doesn't work in this day and age.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I ever encountered a real thermometer
in life.
Growing up. No. My mom always had this one digital one that like everybody used when they were sick. That was how she could tell if you were sick or not. You had to fool this thermometer, and if you didn't, like, you buy.
Not to make this too much into a mid-2000s sitcom, but this was a thermometer that everybody used.
Sure was.
In what parts of their body?
Just the mouth.
Okay.
And it was rinsed off every time.
Just wanted to clear that up.
It was not a bum thermometer.
Look, maybe I'm just a sicko. Metaphorically, not literally, because again, we're trying to fake that we are sick. I figured if it occurred to me, then it would potentially occur to a listener.
I think there might have been a period of time where I tried to use it on my underarms, and my mom was like so appalled that she was like, "You're never allowed using this when I'm around."
I just didn't want the listeners' idea of you to be diminished by thinking you might have had bum thermometer in your mouth.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Tired. I almost called you Robathy.
Robathy?
Yeah.
Well,
I was like, "Thank you, Robathy."
Here we go.
Help. Okay. Faking an upset stomach is another method. 1. Display a decline in appetite. Only pick at your food and avoid finishing even things that you usually do like.
Don't do anything you like to do. Don't eat anything that you like to do.
This is the best step. Occasionally rub your stomach. Do this with an uncomfortable look on your face. You don't have to say anything at first, but do mention your stomach. Or if you're a small kid, your tummy. If someone asks what is wrong.
My tum-tum does hurt. So yeah, you might have noticed that I've been occasionally just like touching my stomach. As if...
And sighing.
Kind of as if I've never felt it before. It's a strange thing. It's just, what is this receptacle of food that everything goes into?
That's hysterical.
What is this?
Okay, to keep a bowl or bucket by you. Even if you never use it, this implies that you are on the verge of throwing up. Once in a while, pick it up and stare into it with disconcert as though hit by a wave of nausea.
So, okay, you're at work.
Yeah.
You're an hour in.
Yeah.
You're like, I just don't want to be here.
Blech.
You go to your chill, cool boss who's like, "Hey, Broseph." And you're like, "Hi, sir." You may be noticing that I'm pulling this large trash can behind me. And it's scraping the floor.
I may vomit.
Do you see that I'm lightly touching my tummy as I'm dragging this can behind me?
I can see that you look pretty ill. Do you want to go home?
Have you... Well, I don't know. Does my face look green enough? By the way, you do look like the witch from the Looney Tunes cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're building up a character.
Can I just say you just accidentally sounded like Angus from the Adventure Zone for a second, and it freaked me out.
I'll have to listen back to it. I don't know.
Little boy, sweet baby boy Angus. Okay. Spend a lot of time in the bathroom. Whether from vomiting or diarrhea, people make for frequent and long trips to the back room when sick to their stomach. You don't need to make a spectacle out of it, but rushing to the bathroom a few times an hour will definitely get noticed.
Right. So what you have to do...
Throw out your entire work day. The day before as well.
Yeah. So the day before you call in sick, You go to the boss and go like, I'm loudly dragging this
Help
this trash can behind. I keep saying cash can.
Cash can. That's okay. I'm pretty sure that I said back room instead of bathroom.
And you lightly pat your stomach at all times. You go to the bathroom. You've set up a video game console in there. You're just kind of like playing. You're just shooting
I have
those
the
aliens.
diarrhea.
Mm-hmm.
But you're actually just shooting some enemies.
Go
on
ahead.
The game system.
I thought
I don't know what just happened to me.
We'll cut some stuff out.
Yeah. Apply a small amount of toothpaste onto your bottom eyelid to make your eyes watery.
Of course.
Make sure it's near, but not in your eyes. Leave the toothpaste on for about 3 minutes to make your eyes feel like they're burning. Sorry. Put toothpaste on your eyelid?
Not on your eyes, just near your eyes. Except that
this
image is
photo
definitely
is
putting
fully in the eye.
it in the eye. So if you want to avoid your mints, you want to avoid your various highly chemical ones.
Yes.
You want to just
you want to go into the Shoppers Drug Mart near you and just be like, "Hello, I plan on putting
which of these pastes
Which of these
pastes
is best for my eye?
is best for my eye?" And by best, I mean we'll make it look red and puffy,
But like won't give me a sty.
but will remove plaque.
And the pharmacist goes,
Please leave.
"Please leave. Get out of my store."
Please leave. It's like, okay, so that's Crest. Thank you. Also, I mean, if in some mornings when you need to fake sick, but you need to get out of the apartment pretty quick. If you don't have time to brush your eyeballs, you can just throw some mouthwash on there.
Oh my god!
Just throw a dab of mouthwash.
Imagine?
Just like shake it around your eyes for about 30 seconds.
And then you'll be probably hospital bound, but you won't be going to work.
You'll lose your sight, but you will miss a day of work at the very least.
So worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's the sacrifices you have to make in order to get your free day.
And this is the one important thing, is if you're going to call in sick, you actually have to physically call. And how do you fake illness over the phone? You make your voice sound different. If you need to call your boss to take off work, you need to sound the part to avoid suspicion. Speak slightly slower. Pause occasionally for a second in the middle of your sentences. Don't be too quick to answer. Remember, you are sick and sluggish. Try to breathe through your mouth to sound like you have a stuffed up nose. So start talking at 25% human speed.
Mm-hmm. So for the listener, your podcast app probably lets you slow down a podcast.
Yes.
Usually you would speed it up. If you're a human monster, you would slow it down.
Yes.
So, just start listening to the next section at 25% speed if you need a reference point for what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is probably the most sound advice that we've gotten so far, I would just say.
I agree.
Skimming through this entire section, you play up how contagious you are, you cough or sneeze, you fake sounds of vomit.
That actually gives you a pretty good step-by-step on how to fake sounds of vomit.
Can I mention pour 1 or 2 glasses of water and make your call while sitting by the toilet. If you really need to sound sick, stop in the middle of talking to make a retching gurgling noise and pour the glass of water.
Oh my god.
That's just it. That's sociopathic.
That's
that's
crossed
a little
the
much.
line.
So in your 30-second call to your boss,
you have to
all of a
vomit
sudden
once.
You have to create an image in their head as if it is a Saturday Night Live skit.
Yeah.
And you are holding your hand up to your mouth, and there is a hose worth of vomit coming out in every direction from your mouth.
And that's the only way you'll convince your boss you can't come in.
Spraying with a velocity where they can hear it splatter against the wall on the other side of the apartment.
True, though. That's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think that's it.
Yeah, there's some tips in here. If you want to give yourself an upset stomach, get up about half an hour earlier than you usually do and eat about 3 or 4 garlic cloves.
That seems like the worst.
Look,
if you want to make yourself sick, actually physically make yourself sick.
It's 2017.
Yeah.
It's time to remake Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
This is true.
So, what do the kids like these days? Authenticity.
What do the kids like these days?
You go on the YouTubes and the social media, they want to see what people are actually like.
This is true.
You don't want any of these creeps who are like picking up their girlfriends from school and faking to be their dad. That's a little creepy.
That's a lot.
Making Rube Goldbergian type things where a keyboard plays an away message. I'm trying to remember this movie.
Yeah, I don't have a very strong remembrance.
What we need to see is Ferris's personal journey of about 48 hours beforehand starting to shove toothpaste in his eye
Yeah.
and cloves of garlic down his throat.
I need to see that emotional moment where all of that he's worked towards has given him everything that he needs to move on. Oh yeah.
I just carry a trash can behind me through the streets of Chicago at all times. If somebody's like, "Hey, aren't you a kid and you're supposed to be in school?" You're like, "Look, it's my day off." And then you have a glass of water, which I don't have. I'm not gonna grab Caitlin's coffee, and you basically pour it away. You pour it out everywhere that you go.
So I need everybody to know that what just happened was Rob got up and lost his mind.
You just dragged that trash can around
for everyone.
Honestly, I'm going to summarize this article as if you wanted to pretend to be sick,
Yeah.
or at least want people to leave you alone for a day, drag a trash can behind you at all times.
Yeah.
And nobody will want to talk to you.
No.
Especially if you're going around to people and going like, "What's a cold? What is a cold? How do you do cold?
And they're like, okay, we know you're asking because you just...
How do you do cold?
Yeah, well, you're just flinging
How do
your
you do
trash
cold?
can around.
How do you do cold? How do you do cold?"
How to make friends, the guide.
So I think on that note, I'm going to go home now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You enjoy that sickness you earned.
Is that it for this week?
No, we have no community questions, but
Oh,
we have my
right.
favorite.
Okay.
Rob,
Yeah.
what do you do if you shit your pants while you're pretending to be sick?
I think you have a reason to go home.
I think that's your reason to go home. Is
All
you
right,
just
everybody.
Shit your pants.
So
So if nobody's buying that you're sick, just shit your pants
Pretty
and go
much.
home.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's it for this week. So,
You can follow us on Twitter at
Yeah.
How to Not Show.
yes. So we've moved to Mondays now.
Yep.
I know in literally the last episode we said we're Fridays. We were liars.
We were
We're
liars.
dirty little liars.
Yeah.
We're Mondays now.
Yes.
And so that'll be pretty regular. Also, you can check out episodes on YouTube.
Yeah?
Yeah. Also, like and subscribe and all that, and rate us, and it really helps, and blah, blah, blah. And if you leave a review, if you include in your review a article that you think we should take a look at, we will take a look at those
Yeah,
and
for
potentially
sure.
use it for a future episode.
All right. Have a fun week, everyone.
Yeah. Take these lessons this Wednesday when you're just like, I'm only halfway through the week. Fuck this.
Just
Just remember.
give us a listen. And remember that
How to
sweet,
cold.
sweet tips.
How to cold. How to cold.
Amazing.